City University of Hong Kong is an international university which emphasizes the integration of research and teaching. The university promotes diversified, cross-cultural studies through various educational programs. To promote our educational vision, City University of Hong Kong produced a series called Beyond Boundaries, Dialogue with Presidents of World's Leading Educational Institutions. Professor Way Kuo, President of City University of Hong Kong, talks to presidents of universities and principals of high schools around the world, exploring each other's strengths and looking forward to the future direction of educational development. In this episode, President Way Kuo will take us to a central city of Germany, Stuttgart, a veritable world-class automobile city where the headquarters of the famous automobile brands Mercedes-Benz and Porsche are located. The reason that Stuttgart has become a world-class automobile city is largely due to the long local higher education tradition. In this episode, we will visit the University of Stuttgart, which was established over 200 years ago, to know more about this university, which is renowned for industrial technology and its contribution to the world's automotive and industrial development. People traveling to Stuttgart usually visit the Mercedes-Benz Museum. This gasoline engine, called grandfather clock, was invented by Mr. Daimler in 1884. This three-wheeled car, called Benz Model 1, was invented by Mr. Benz in 1885. These two ancient machines started the German automobile industry and affected the transportation of all mankind. There is a famous saying in Stuttgart: only churches were built earlier than universities. A city with only 600,000 residents, there are 8 universities. The University of Stuttgart is the most influential one. Daimler learned systematic fuel engine knowledge in this institute and invented his own small gasoline engine. After nearly 200 years of development, the University of Stuttgart has become one of Germany's most famous universities of science and technology. In academic research, 4 faculty members and alumni of the University of Stuttgart have won the Nobel Prize in Physics and Chemistry, respectively. The University of Stuttgart is one of the 9 most important German universities of science and technology in the TU9 consortium, and it has the closest collaborative relations with the industry and boasts the richest university in Germany. The annual scientific research sponsorship amounts to about 250 million euros per year. The average third-party scientific research sponsorship per professor ranks first in Germany. This program invites Professor Ressel, Rector of the University of Stuttgart, to discuss the university's teaching and research, especially its collaboration with the industry. Professor Way Kuo, President of City University of Hong Kong, is well known for his research on the reliability of electronic systems and nuclear energy. In his early years, he worked at Bell Laboratories in the United States, who held the position of department head and dean of the School of Engineering in an American university, and was conferred academicians in various countries. Professor Way Kuo has served as the president of CityU for more than 10 years. His philosophy of education is summarized in the lyrics of the CityU anthem, which he wrote: "Learn and question beyond boundaries. Professor Way Kuo has also published several books about education. He is particularly concerned about the challenges facing contemporary education around the world.
各位朋友，我们今天要跟大家介绍一所在德国很有名的大学，就是 University of Stuttgart。我们知道日本科技非常进步，日本在明治维新的时候组了代表团到德国，把德国的科技、德国人工作的精神移植到日本去。德国是一个科技非常发达的国家。我们今天访问 Stuttgart 的校长 Professor Ressel. Welcome you.
Thank
Professor
you very
Ressel.
much. Thank you.
Good to have you here to meet with our audience. I just mentioned Germany is really well known for technology and research. In fact, Germany is the first country that initiate the research element of a university. The universities in Germany is somewhat different from American universities. Can you briefly tell us your university system, how it works, and also how research is integrated in the university element?
Yes. Well, our universities are quite old. The oldest one is over 600 years old.
Right.
Only the church is older than
I
the
see.
universities. So we have a lot of tradition in universities. And the main tradition is that we have the so-called Hombodenian Principle,
Yes.
which means that research and education is always done together, not divided in two parts. It's
That's
always
very
done
important.
together, and that's what we traditionally do at this time and will go on for the future. And it's very important that our students are taught in the newest technologies, in the newest methods, in the newest algorithms, what is coming out in research, because this immediately comes into the industry when the students will go in industry.
That's why I refer to the research-based teaching.
Yes.
And it has been learned by Japanese over 100 years ago. And I believe the University of Tokyo was one that has learned a lot from the German system. I know your university is located in a very heavy industry, you know, and the Mercedes-Benz and the Porsche are in your neighbors.
Yeah.
You work very closely with them, do you?
Yes, we do. It's not only these two
Of course, there are many others.
companies. There are a lot of suppliers for both companies, which are really world-leading companies.
Right.
So yes, we are working very closely to them, and they have also people in our advisory board, which looks on us, what we are doing, but we have a lot of contracts. And for example, one example what I can give you is this so-called Arena 2036 project. This is the first cooperative research campus in Germany, together with these mentioned companies. Bosch is with us, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, BASF, but a lot of SMEs, so small and mid-sized enterprises, are in this group of Arena 2036. And this is really industry on campus. So they come on campus and we work together. And if they want to work on campus, we need research projects, and this must be done by both, not only by the industry or only by the university.
Must
no,
be
they
two
have
ways.
two ways, yes. And then they can work in this new experimental hall together. And ARENA stands for the future of automobiles, so we will get a new mobility.
The University of Stuttgart made great accomplishment in driving the development of the German automotive industry. However, The university is facing the challenge of internationalization and needs to learn from Asian and American higher education.
You know, today we're talking about internationalization.
Mm-hmm.
How does it work in Germany and in the University of Stuttgart?
Yeah. Well, I think every research university in Germany is an international university. For example, to Stuttgart, we have 22% of our students, they come from abroad, really from abroad. So the problem for them is that our undergrad program is totally in German. We have some international master programs which are totally taught in English. So the master programs are not the problems, but the undergrad programs, so they have to learn German first. And this is not so easy.
To learn.
Like Chinese. Yeah, that's true. But internationalization, yes, it's very important for us. And we all have to find ways how we can get more international than we are today. So we are looking to Asia, we are looking to US.
I always feel that politics should be separate from academic issue.
You are right.
But to separate them totally is really not that easy. It's always mingled together in some way.
Yeah.
How you handle the issue if government want to influence your university operation?
Yes, they do, of course.
We
We have a lot of laws in this field. Yes, what can we do? I think when we are doing good work in sense of research, that our research is well known over the world, not only in Germany. That we have a citation index which is very high and so on. Then the politics let us go. They don't force us in a special thing.
If you do well, why do they bother?
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How about your funding mechanism for your university budget, and what are the incomes you generate?
So we are state universities, but only 50% of our budget is coming from the state. The other 50% are fundings coming from public, for example, the German Foundation Association, or the federal ministries, the state ministries. So we are financed half-half, if you want.
So the students don't pay tuition,
No,
correct?
we have no tuition.
There's no tuition.
Studying in Germany is absolutely free.
That's another extreme from the American way.
Yeah.
American state university tuitions,
Yeah.
it's kind of heavy. Not as high as private universities, but still. Yes.
Yeah, this is a big difference.
It's a big difference. Do you see, can you compare these two systems a little bit?
Well, yes. The American system, you need a strong leadership, I think.
Yes.
Really, the money which gets in to divide it into the faculties, into the schools and so on, into the university. In Germany, because we are free, really, in our basic law, there's the Article 5, so one of the first articles. And there's a sentence which says, research and teaching or education is free. So we have to discuss a lot in our universities to bring people to a vision or to a motto. So I think we are used to discuss. And we cannot rule top-down only. We do it, but also bottom-up. And this is a mixture of both. We will not find that in the US.
Oh, I see. You're correct. That's different from the American way.
Yeah.
How about the salaries for faculty members? Are they paid almost the same, or do you differentiate that?
There is a differentiation, yes. 10 years ago, we got a new system, the so-called W system. What's just a word for a flexible payment of professors. So we have a ground payment, and then we can double it maximum. Normally it's between the highest and this ground payment. And this is yes, if our professors are successful, then they get more.
Who decided how
That's
much?
the president.
The president
Yeah,
make a
that's
final
the president,
decision.
yes. That's
But you got recommendation from committees to tell you.
yes, commendation, and we have statistics, of course.
Statistics and exactly.
How many research projects are coming in, how many people are working there, publications, citation index, and so on. But you cannot compare, for example, a professor in humanities with a professor in engineering.
You
yeah?
differentiate.
So yes, we have to.
You mentioned behavioral science and humanities.
Mm-hmm.
I think the German universities are really known to
Mm-hmm.
promote interdisciplinary research.
Yeah, very important.
Specifically,
Mm-hmm.
you also make this an element of the education system. So you integrate engineering with humanities, social sciences,
Yes.
and technology together.
Yes.
And have been very successful. I think Germany is the most successful place that can put them together.
Yeah. We are thinking that the main problems of this world, like mobility, like climate change, like health, and so on, these problems or challenges, they can be solved only on the edges of the disciplines. If they work together, then we will go a step further on. And therefore we need interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research projects to find new solutions. And this is what we are going in Germany, and especially in Stuttgart with the so-called Stuttgart way.
So it is a unique way, the Stuttgart way.
Yeah, it is.
Known to the. I know the research idea was originally from Germany. It really spread out to the many places. Now today it becomes common, and therefore there were debates about whether more research, less teaching, or should be more teaching and less research. Frankly, I think that's not an idea you have. In the beginning, they have to be integrated together, right?
Sure.
This is why I call you have this research-based teaching. And you also send your students to the overseas.
Mm-hmm.
You have exchange program with many universities.
Yeah.
To that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, as it is, you cannot compare everything and make an average for everybody. You know, we have, of course, research professors and professors who teach more than they research. But in average, we say it should be 50-50. So 50% teaching, 50% research.
I agree.
So this is an average.
Yes, an average.
But of course, we have some people which do only research, and we have the possibility, that we have a contract with these people that they should do only research, but just a few, the best ones, yes. Less than 2%.
We have to differentiate people in a way. And people have different talents.
Yeah.
They are somewhat different.
Yeah, that's true.
各位朋友，我们今天呢，很高兴能够有Professor Ressel 来访问我们这个节目。这个节目让我们更深信，教学跟研究是应该合为一体，而且他们大学很强调 integration of different subjects， 从自然科学、工程、社会科学、人文学、艺术美学等等，要结合在一起。我常常说，我们的目的是达到这个造福社会、造福人类。我们大学的功效应该在这里扮演一个重要的角色。德国的大学像是the University of Stuttgart 就是一个很好的例子。我们很感谢 Professor Ressel to be with us today. Thank you very much.
In the next episode of Beyond Boundaries, dialogue with presidents of world's leading educational institutions, we will interview the fellow of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the former president of Shanghai Jiaotong University, Professor Zhang Jie. As a nuclear physicist, Professor Zhang Jie is also an outstanding expert of higher education. He will share his personal enlightenment as well as his vision and ambition on Chinese education.